So here's our HTML, which again we can drag it around. And so we'll type in HTML first. We'll type in hello. Notice we get help from the software keyboard. And we'll set that back. And we can say world here. And set that back into JavaScript. So that's basically JavaScript and Silverlight interacting with each other. Thanks. Now, of course, the canonical JavaScript C# sample is the chess app, which I'm sure you guys have seen. We showed it at Mix07 to show the performance of C# versus the browser's JavaScript engine. Joe Stegman ported it last year to use the local connection feature in Silverlight 3 to have Chrome and Firefox playing JavaScript engines fighting each other. So of course, we got to port it to the phone. I mean, what good would a Silverlight talk be without the chess app? So we've got the chess app here. Let's fire up our main page. So basically what you've got here is, instead of taking using a host script engine, I'm basically dropping the web browser here. I don't know if you can see it. There's a little blue square right here. That's our web browser control. It's just hidden behind the chessboard. And I'm just stuffing the entire JavaScript chess engine in there. And I modified the way the interop works to use the kind of new script interop. And so we'll play this. And we've got chess. So again, we're seeing that, as per usual, C# is making hay with JavaScript. You can probably guess how this ends, so we don't need to see it. All right, let's go back to the PowerPoints. So now we'll talk about OS application integration. So this is kind of where a lot more fun stuff that you can do with the phone. So there's kind of three buckets here we'll talk about. The first one is hub integration. So in a couple of the apps that you saw yesterday that Joe showed in his section, so the Netflix app, you'll notice it contributed history information to the media hub. So there's APIs for that. There's also the ability for your application to kind of register as a photo app and kind of pop up in the photo extras hub. And then you saw the Colorizer app that Joe showed in his section do that as well. Launchers are kind of your fire and forget way to invoke a application that's on in the operating system, and that will basically fire and forget. That'll basically send your application to the background and fire up the existing app here. So you can SMS, email, maps, browser, all the standard stuff you'd expect, the dialer. And then there's choosers, which are more like an open file dialog, which invokes a shell experience or a phone experience for picking something, like a contact, an email address, an image, or the camera, and gives that data back to your application and returns when it's done. And so those are kind of the three buckets of kind of OS integration here. And the first thing we're going to show is, the demo I'm going to show here is a chooser to do some camera stuff. So we'll create another new project. VS is getting tired. And again, we'll start with a button. They make the world go round. Call this take picture. I'll add an image. All right, so need to add our reference. So all of the launchers and choosers are all in the tasks reference and task assembly. So we'll add that. The one we're going to use here is called camera capture. So these ones actually are newed up. They don't have the default instance pattern. And to use these things, it's pretty darn simple. It's just .show. Now, anything that's a launcher, that's all you need to do. One or two lines of code, fire off. A lot of the launchers are parameterized, where you can say, you can feed them with data. So like the email launcher, you can set the to-line, you can set the body. But choosers have to return data. And so the pattern is there's basically a method that you override on this page application class, and you put your logic there. So this is the method is called onChooserReturn, and again, you just override this. So what you get back into the event args depends on which chooser you're using. So the first thing you do is you basically you cast it to the type you want. So they're basically generic. So we're going to look for a photo result, and basically verifying that the cast succeeded, we have the right thing. We're verifying that the user actually accepted the picture that they took, and we're verifying that it's not null. You actually have a stream back. So in a little code. So what this code here will do is, and a little bit of that. So what this code does is basically you get a stream back. It's encoded as a JPEG. And you can use the setSource property on bitmap image to basically pass that in to seed your source, and then you set that as the source of your image. So basically this will display the picture as taken inside that image. But often you don't want to just take a picture. You want to do something with it. You want to do some processing. You want to do some analysis on it. So for that, you need a writable bitmap. So we're going to create one here, and we'll seed it with our image, which now has the picture we took inside of it. And this thing takes a transform, so we'll just create an empty transform. We'll just create a transform group. And then when we're done processing, we'll reset our image source to the writable bitmap. Now, processing-wise, we're going to do some pretty fancy stuff. We'll grayscale the image. So this is basically image processing 101. You basically you tease out, the writable bitmap has a pixels array, which is a flat 1D array of all the pixels. The rows are kind of after each other. And you just basically iterate over each one. You get the average pixel value. You average red, green, and blue. You figure out the max and min. You get the average. You set red, green, and blue all to the same, and you've basically grayscaled your image. Pretty straightforward. And then, like I said, we set it back here at the end. So let's pop this out to the device, and we'll see if we can take a picture. Okay. Unlike media playback, I've had much better success with this one, so hopefully this demo works. So click take picture. We've invoked the camera here, so you can't see this. I'm going to take a picture real quick because the wolf vision is not very big. Yeah, okay. I see the ears. Actually, wait, hold on a sec. I have something better to take a picture of. I'm looking to enjoy myself after we're done, so we'll take a picture of my beer. I'm so fired right now. Okay, so there's the picture we took. It's grayed out, and it asks us if we want to accept or decline it. So we'll accept it, and then we grayscale it. This is the default orientation. There we go. So there's our picture we took, grayscaled, and processed. Thank you. All right, so here's a list of launchers and choosers. This will be on the slide later. I don't want to linger on this. You can get this data elsewhere. I suspect there's going to be a lot of questions. So before we jump into questions, two things. So Peter's going to talk about a lot of stuff afterwards. So if you guys ask questions about something he's going to talk about, we'll defer that till afterwards. And if not, we can just dive right in. So Silverlight.net, there's forums there. There's links to get the stuff. Developer.windowsphone.com. A lot of great information there. Links to the tools. Check out my blog. I'll have all these samples up there, including a version of the media one that works, I promise. There's also a cool kind of research event going on. We have some focus groups where they're going to take basically a guided tour through the tools to build a couple apps and to get feedback on how well things are working. So if you guys are interested in participating in that,